Hello, this is Ragnon, and this is the first of several videos for a tutorial guide for EVE Online. When I was learning, I enjoyed watching different tutorial videos, but a lot of them have become outdated because of updates to the UI, and I wanted to make a fresh set of guides for people who might be interested in starting out on EVE Online but are not sure how to get started. You'll notice that I actually have the opportunities page up. Normally when you log in, there'll be a picture of, let's see if I can pull her up. Nope. There's a picture of a computer chick named Aura, and she will have directions to start your opportunities, and if you just accept that, it'll get started. I pushed accept on a previous take of this video because my mouse wasn't showing. But anyways, let's talk about the general user interface on the screen. This game does not fly like a flight simulator. It actually, you issue commands to your ship and your ship obeys. One of the things that I wondered when I first logged into the game was how to move. I'm pushing the arrow keys right now, and you'll notice that my ship's not moving at all. So we'll talk about how to move your ship and how to issue commands and get started in a moment. But I want you to be familiar with all this stuff on your screen. First and foremost is the left side of your screen. This is called your neocom. Another way to think of it is it's your menu of different windows that you can open up. For example, this little box thing, you open that up and it gives you your inventory, or if you click on, that's your mail, your in-game mails. And this is how you access all the different windows. If you want something on this bar that is not here, you can click up in this top left-hand button, and this opens up all the things that are possible to access. So for example, say I want, I don't know, I want to be able to have the browser on my bar. The game actually has an in-game browser. For example, I'll go to Google. See, it works exactly like an out-of-game browser, and you can use that to access things in the game. There are websites that have compatibility with the game. So very cool feature. I want that on my bar, for example, so I'm going to pull that down just to show you that you can change at any time what's on this bar to make it less cluttered or more cluttered if you want. You can also resize this bar by grabbing the very edge, and you can make it as small or as big as you want. If you make it too big, the icons that were on the bar that no longer fit can be accessed with this little button down here, and that's where all the excess applications, I guess you could call them, go. I want them to all be fit though right now. This portrait up here you can click on, and that accesses your character page. So this is my brand new character, Ragnon Todaku. Probably going to make him an industrialist character, but here you can find information about your character. So one of the more important things to know about is your skills section right here. This is how you train all of your skills in the game. We'll come back to that when we talk about the skills section, but for right now I want you to click on Open Training Queue. This is just an advertisement for the fact that you can train multiple characters on one account if you pay a certain amount of ISK or real life money. You can go ahead and dismiss for now. I just want you to pick a skill and get it training. I'm going to pick, I don't know, I'm going to pick Spaceship Command, and I'm going to just do Minmatar Frigate. No, I'm going to do, I don't know, I'll just do Mining Frigate. It doesn't matter for right now. What I want you to do is just get a skill training as fast as possible. I'm going to dismiss this. But get a skill training, because the way that the game works, oh, my other character's training something, but for the purposes of this video, your character trains things in real life time. So if I wanted to upgrade my mining frigate skill, this goes for 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 38 seconds, regardless of if I'm playing or if I'm not. So if you want to progress in this game, you have to always have a skill queued up and be going. I think on trial characters you can only have 24 hours worth, but on on regular accounts, you can have up to 50 skills queued, and depending on how long each of those takes, you'll notice there's one here for 1 day. Some of them that you'll train later take 30 days. You can have, I think my primary character has like over a year's worth of skills queued up, and whether I play or not, I'm making progress towards new ships. So very cool system. That's how you train your skills. I guess we'll talk about it in this video. This is also how you access other things like your jump clones. We'll come back to this later though. Alright, that's enough on the Neocom. As we move right, you'll notice at the bottom of your screen is your local chat and your corp chat. By default, you're put into an NPC, a non-player character corporation, and you'll see chats from people who are just starting out, or if you leave a corporation, which is the game's equivalent of guilds. If you leave a corporation, it will pop you into an NPC corporation. So some of the people in here are just starting out like you, and some of them are veteran players who just left their corporation, and they're either waiting to join another one or they're flying solo for now. You'll also find local chat. Local chat shows everybody that is currently in your solar system. We'll talk about the map later. We're moving on to the Opportunities tab, which is up here. This is the game's version of a tutorial. You'll notice it starts off telling you things like how to zoom your camera, how to move your camera around, how to look at things, which uses the Overview tab, which is next. But in the top left, it shows your current solar system, who owns that solar system, your route if you have a waypoint set up. So this shows you, we'll talk about the map, but let's get to flying your ship. Everything is issued through your overview panel, which is over here on the right side. Your overview panel is your bread and butter for shooting things, for mining, for movement, for traveling. It's the primary way that you're going to do things in the game. As you click on something, you'll notice that there's a set of actions up here. It's good to learn the hotkeys and rebind them if you'd like to, but you can do everything with just your mouse if you'd like. Let me change that. Okay, so for example, when you start off, you might see there's a couple of these guys. It says minor threat, hostile, belter hoodlums. These are NPCs. If they're red like this, the whole icon is red, then that means that it's an NPC. It's not a character. They're not going to spawn you right next to a character. I don't believe. I've never heard of that happening. But you'll actually be able to kill these. If I wanted to, say, fly to them, then I could click this button right here, approach. I could also warp to. I can't warp to another character. You can only warp to things like stations or gates or objects. If that asteroid was further than 150 kilometers away, I could warp to it, but I'm too close. Another command that you can issue is orbit. If I click that, then I will fly to him and orbit within, it's currently set for 1,000 meters. So that's a cool feature. That's a very, very common used thing for mining and for combat. Another option is keep at range, which will fly you to that range of 1,000 meters and keep you that distance away. Those are the three main ways you move. Is approach, which will just kind of, you'll fly at him and until you collide with him, and then you'll stay right on his tail. Orbit, which causes you to orbit around them, and then keep at range, which sets you a default distance away. You can also fly any direction by double-clicking in that direction. So I just double-clicked right above my ship in space, and you'll notice that down here, this is my ship's HUD, I guess you could say. It has different information. Down here, this bottom blue bar shows me how fast I'm moving. So currently I'm moving about 375 meters per second in this direction. That's a fast way that you can, so I'm just going to double click again, and my ship's going to change directions to fly this way. This is called manual piloting, and if you want, you can also use your arrow keys on your keyboard. You might have to set it up in shortcuts. I don't know if it's on by default, but you can use your arrow keys to manually pilot your ship. I'm just using the arrow keys to kind of move around. This is kind of clunky. It's definitely not the primary way you want to move. What you want to do is click on something and approach it. So, for example, I just unlocked some opportunities. That's the primary way that you're going to get to things. Let's say I wanted to go to this station. I know it's a station because it has this box. You can check the icon and it'll tell you what it is. But I want to go to this station right here and dock up and show you what the interior of the station looks like. So I would, it's too far away. It's 5 AU, which is, I think like, I forget exactly how many kilometers that is, but several light years essentially away. So what I need to do is my approach button changes to align to, which makes your ship aim in that direction. And so now my ship is flying towards that station. And now if I click warp to within 0, my ship will warp to that station. So now I'm flying to that station, and my ship will do all the work. It's flying. I can't stop. Once I've issued this warp command, I can't just stop right now. You got to make it to your destination. And you'll see that these other green characters on my overview, these are all real life, they're player characters. The way that I know is because since they're green highlighted, that means they're in my corporation. And then the other thing is, if their actual ship's icon is white, that means that they're a player character. NPCs are either blue or they are red. So for example, these blue NPCs over here, this is I'll go ahead and look at them for you. This is a police captain NPC. And so he guards the ship from any aggression, people trying to gank noobs and such. So that's an NPC because his icon is blue. And then we were just in an area where we saw some red ships. The way that I just looked at him, by the way, if you're curious about that, is a command called look at. You can just hold Alt and click on something on your overview. So for example, there's somebody in a capsule right here. I can hold Alt and look at him. But there he is. So that's another player named Norman. So we're going to go ahead and dock and probably end the video right here. And in the next video, we'll talk about some other topics about just getting started. So I hope you enjoyed this first tutorial video about EVE Online, and tune in for future videos.